My name's Dave Pizzini. I'm a licensed private investigator based in South Auckland. This is Mick O'Connor, Compliance Officer from Tauranga City Council. Our role in this matter is to investigate on behalf of Council and assist the prosecutor in preparation for the trial in March. The interview is about a subdivision. We've got a photograph of it here, based in the Lakes Boulevard in Pies Pa, Tauranga. We're going to be talking about events that happened during 2016, 2017. Before we start, I'm advised to give you your rights. You don't have to say anything unless you wish to. Anything you do say is being recorded and may be given as evidence by having it played if it goes to trial. You have the right to consult and instruct a lawyer of your choice without delay, and I understand that you've availed your rights in that regard because Mr. Nabney is sitting here with you during this interview. You've been invited to attend this interview and you've agreed to do so. That was arranged last week. The time now is 27 minutes past 3 and it's Monday the 16th of December 2019. Can you state your full name for the record, please?
Danny John Cancian.
Alright, and we are at 36 Willow Street, which is the premises of Tauranga Chambers, which is the office of Bill Nabney, barrister. Can you tell me when Bella Vista Homes Limited was incorporated as a company? Don't need to know the exact date, but give me an idea.
2015, maybe?
Thank you.
Somewhere around there.
Yep. And how many directors of the company have there been since that date?
2.
Okay. And how many directors were there as at November 2017?
1,
And
I think. Maybe.
that being yourself?
Can't remember when, actually. Daniel de Martin was bought out. Can't remember.
Okay.
You'd probably know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was around about the middle of 2016 from my knowledge.
Was it? Yeah.
Does that sound right to you?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have all the paperwork in front of me.
Oh, that's fair enough.
No, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
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 If we need any precision, we can easily do that.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's fine. As at the time of Bella Vista Homes Limited going into liquidation, which is November 2017, were you the holder of a building practitioner's licence?
Yes.
Okay. When was that last validated or renewed prior to that date?
Well, didn't very well look.
If you don't know, just say so.
Probably a few months ago. 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. It was renewed.
Okay, but it was valid as at
Yeah.
2017?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. Please give us a bit of background about your experience in the building industry. How long have you been involved in various roles in the industry?
I've been a builder for probably 30 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not all that time in Tauranga?
No, in Wellington as well.
Yep. Okay. What year did you move your business to Tauranga?
Didn't move my business to Tauranga. I just came up to Tauranga to help my wife's father.
Okay.
So,
And when was that?
2012, I think. Just around there somewhere.
With respects to this development at Lakes Boulevard and Anita Way, did you do anything wrong here, Danny?
I probably did actually,
Okay.
employing the wrong people.
Okay. Can you expand on that?
Well, my role in the company was to find subdivisions and get all the subdividing organised and to keep the company rolling. And I had a general manager, I had an operations manager, I had a project manager who was an LPB that was meant to look after this site. So I pretty much left it up to them to run the site because obviously they were competent. Yeah, the thing I did do wrong was I actually employed the wrong people.
Okay. You had a project manager. Can you tell me who that was?
The project manager and LPB was Lee Connor.
Okay. But you had other staff doing that role before he was employed, didn't you?
There was Ian Manell. Yeah. But when this project started, it was a big project, and I needed a project manager who was an LPB that would look after the site.
Okay. Prior to 2016, what other projects had you been involved with directly?
Anita Way.
Mm-hmm.
I did Anita Way. I built, supervised the houses there. But the Lakes Boulevard was getting too big for me to actually run the company and supervise and project manage and do the operations. So I had to employ other people to do that.
Yep. Prior to coming to the Lakes, had your previous building business had projects anywhere other than the Lakes area in Pies Park?
Western Bay, there was a house there. Most of it was in the Lakes. One in Gate Pa. I think that was that, and some in Pakamau.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But mostly the Lakes. I just concentrate on the Lakes.
Any subdivision projects?
In Pakamau, yeah.
Okay. And how many homes would be in that development?
Probably 3 or 4.
Okay. So quite small compared with this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But previous to this one, I did quite a few in the Lakes. Some of them were like 7, 8, 9 section developments.
Okay. Good. Well, there's no doubt that you're a very experienced builder, 30 years, and that would have been working in Wellington and Tauranga since 2012, is that right?
No, I was in a Chinese prison before that.
Okay.
For 4 years. So as soon as I came back out of a Chinese prison, then we decided we're going to help my father-in-law, so we moved up to Sarah.
Okay. I'm going to hand over to Mick, and he's going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
As a licensed building practitioner, are you familiar with the various acts, like the Building Act,
Yes.
like Section 40 of the Act,
Yes.
and what's that relate to?
Section 40 is relates to criminal charges if we don't follow consented plans and.
Section 40 just
Yeah.
in the Act.
Yeah,
It's all building work must comply with the consented plans.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And Section 17. You're familiar with that?
Which
Section 17, it relates to building work. All building work must comply with the building code, whether it requires a building consent or not.
Right.
And you understand also the responsibilities of a licensed building practitioner.
Yes.
What's your take on that?
Well, a licensed building practitioner must either do the work or supervise the work. He must give a 10-year warranty or guarantee on the workmanship and what he does. That's pretty much it, really.
What about ensuring that it meets the requirements of the building code?
Well, that's standard.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah,
as a question.
that's all standard.
Okay. And as far as like supervisory side of it, are you familiar with like practice notes for a supervision of work by a licensed building practitioner?
Yeah.
you know, what's your take on what that relates to?
Practice notes is just noting down what needs to be done, or what needs to be rectified, or what's been done on site.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, a licensed building practitioner only needs to do the same inspections as a council inspector.
So, a license as a supervisor.
Yep.
What do you think that role entails?
Well, as a supervisor, you must assess the person that's you're supervising, whether they're competent or whether they've worked with you before, or what sort of, I suppose, what sort of level you're going to supervise them at.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys that I had working on site, one of them was an apprentice.
Yep.
Previous to that, so
Yep.
his level of competence was very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I could supervise him less than other people I didn't know,
Yeah.
and that's what the code, or the licensed builder practitioner code states.
Yeah. So you, supervising work, would sign off on that work?
If I supervised it, I would sign off on it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned before about you did the houses in Anita Way
Yeah.
and had nothing to do with the houses down below.
I supervised. I supervised 311 Lakes Boulevard
Yeah.
and 297. That was it.
No others down there
No,
that you recall?
no, none of them.
What about fixing the likes of those Kmart weatherboards, for instance?
Yeah.
What's your understanding of that, of how they should be fixed?
As per the Claymark manual.
So you were familiar with that manual?
No,
No?
I read it a long time ago. So how
Yeah,
familiar with it?
yeah, fair enough. I'm just saying that. So, but you have read it?
Oh, a long time ago. Probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
When we had problems with the Claymark weatherboards.
Okay.
Okay, because they were splitting and there was sap coming out of them.
Yeah.
The weatherboards were shrinking, and I've got letters to that effect from Steve at Claymark when they came out and inspected them. We had 4 other houses before that with the same sort of problems with.
Yeah. Okay. So, for you, when you went, you said you changed your role. Like you were initially builder, owner, builder, operator.
Well, I never really ever built. I never had my apron on building on any of the sites.
Right.
So maybe a supervisor before the Lakes Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were on the tools before you went to the
No.
Lakes Boulevard? No?
No, hardly ever on the tools. I had builders working for me.
Yeah. Okay.
From 2012, when you moved to Tauranga, you started working with your father-in-law. Can you describe your relationship with council building inspectors and council and junior?
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
We now know it's not fine.
Building inspectors? Why is it not fine?
Your relationship with council in general doesn't appear to be fine anymore.
Not anymore, no.
No. Can you account for the change in the relationship?
Probably just the Tauranga City Council were just slow. They didn't get things right. They were holding up the jobs. As far as I'm concerned, they weren't fair.
Okay.
That's why. And I'm not going to be pushed around or bullied, because all I wanted to do was get on with the house and build them for the clients and the first home buyers. You know, it's not fair that Tauranga City Council hold things up because of vendettas they have against people.
So you allege that council had a vendetta against itself?
Not alleged, I know they did.
Okay.
And that was through the Bill Brower affidavit and other people that have spoken to me as well, that I've got affidavits from.
Okay. One of the people that Mick and I have interviewed is Ian Manella. I mentioned his name earlier. He was a project manager
Yeah.
for around about 12 months,
Yeah, maybe.
up until
Yeah.
early April 2017. You know Wayne Buchanan from Off the Hook Limited?
Yep.
He's an excavator.
Yep.
Yep. Who approached him to scrape the building sites in the development?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
All I know is that he damaged a lot of stuff, so that's why we never used him anymore.
Okay. Because he was there for about 5 weeks, wasn't he? 4 or 5 weeks?
Maybe.
Okay.
What sort of stuff did he damage?
All the right-of-ways. He chipped them all and damaged them all, and each right-of-way is about $15,000 to $20,000, and he's broken it all and chipped them all, and wouldn't pay for them to be fixed. So, would you use them?
I'm pointing to some right-of-way driveways here off.
Yeah.
I'm pointing to some right-of-ways here off Blakes Boulevard.
Yep.
Are they the driveways or right-of-ways?
The other ones, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you recall attending a site meeting with Wayne the day that he started work at the subdivision?
No.
Okay. Have you read Ian Manell's statement?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've read the statement. Yeah.
Okay. Do you accept as evidence that you were the one who met Wayne on site and briefed him?
Well, actually, his evidence is actually a lot wrong. There's a lot wrong in it. So, yeah, I wouldn't actually trust his evidence because I can prove that there's a lot wrong in it.
Okay. Well, I asked you a specific question.
I'm just telling you, I'm not gonna comment on that because his statement is not correct.
All right. What about a statement that you met him on site and briefed Wayne Buchanan on excavating the sites?
So no, Ian Manell is not a trustworthy person, I wouldn't think.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you, like, it was a long, long time ago. Like, we're talking, what, 5 years ago, mate? How long ago was it?
We're talking about 2016.
To 2017.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking 3.5 years ago.
Well, it's a long time ago. I can't remember conversations that far back.
Okay.
I'd like to,
Yeah.
but
Had you previously used Wayne Buchanan on other projects? Sites?
no.
Okay. Who employed Ian Manell as project manager?
That would have been Daniel Martin and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Another mistake. Employ, as I said to you, that's the one thing I didn't do right, is employing people that didn't do their jobs properly. All right?
You talking about Ian or are you talking about Daniel?
Ian.
Okay.
Daniel was the director, so,
Yeah. But he did a bit of work on the sites, didn't he?
Who?
Daniel.
Yeah, he did, yeah. He did. Yeah. So, yeah, Ian Manell, he got, I had to let him go because he put houses in the wrong place and he made a lot of mistakes on site.
Okay.
Okay, and then he wrecked the ute, like all the back tyres on the ute, because he took off one day because he on 309 Lakes Boulevard, the block walls, the foundations were put in the wrong place. Okay, so I got called up because I only get called up to the site when there's issues. So I went through it all and I said to him, we need to get the engineer up here, we need to get an amendment, we need to use bigger 240 blocks to fix the issue, right? Which I organised the amendments, I organised the blocks, but then he got the 190 mil blocks delivered to site. And I had to go at him, I said, you can't use these. And he got all shitty and he took off in the ute and smashed all the tyres on the island, outside the boulevard there. I think it was this island just down here somewhere. Yeah, down here. Smashed all
So you're indicating Lakes Boulevard opposite
That's
309?
right. Yeah, and he took off and he smashed all the on I think it was this one here. See this little bit that pokes out? So he actually, this little bit here that pokes out.
That's a
he's-
trend here.
Yeah.
Alright,
So
so
he
you're talking
smashed
about,
all the tyres on it. 309 Lakes Boulevard here. And that was sort of the last straw. I couldn't actually keep him on after that. I needed someone who was more competent.
okay,
Because we had 301 Lakes Boulevard that the charges were dropped on, you know, those ones, when the house was in the wrong place, but there was a full amendment done. I got called in when that situation happened, and I amended it. I got amended plans done, and I fixed the problem.
do you accept that Ian is correct in saying that he had very little to do, or he had nothing to do with directing Wayne Buchanan's work when he was working on site?
Sorry? What?
He had next to nothing to do with directing Buchanan's work.
He directed all Wayne's work on site. I didn't go on site and direct anything. He organised the surveyors, he organised him to dig them out, he organised everything on site. H&G to set up the pegs, the whole lot.
That's heavily saw earthworks, is it?
H&G is Harrison Grierson, the surveyors.
Okay.
So Ian Manel organised all of those, everything.
So Wayne Buchanan was only on there for a very short time, so
And that's right, yeah, because he damaged the right-of-ways, and I got quite upset with that.
yeah.
Because there's a lot of money's worth of right-of-ways there, so I told him that he needed to go. And he reduced his bill by $10,000 so we could fix the damage he'd done.
Okay.
Okay. Wasn't there a dispute over his first monthly invoices from Wayne Buchanan?
I couldn't tell you, I didn't do any invoicing or any of that. That was Craig Carter and Charmaine who did all that stuff, you know.
Do you remember a meeting at your offices where there was yourself, Ian and Wayne Buchanan?
And Craig Carter, was he there?
He may have been.
Because I would have been called into the meeting. If the meeting was called, it would have been done by Craig Carter, the general manager, right? And then they would have called me into the meeting. And the meeting was, obviously, I would listen because I was the director of the company, but the meeting would be by Craig Carter, not by me.
So you do remember that meeting?
No, I don't.
So when Ian says that you were the one that did all the hiring and firing, was he correct or wrong in saying that?
He was absolutely incorrect because he hired people from trade staff, he hired the block layers, he hired a lot of people. And I have evidence to prove that.
Can we just clarify too, when you say hiring and firing, are we talking about employees or sub-trades?
We're talking about sub-trades.
Yeah, well, Ian Manel was the one that hired and fired the sub-trades. And as so, I've got evidence to prove that, Bill.
Okay. You know Corey Craven Murphy?
Absolutely.
Heavily soiled earthworks?
Yes,
He effectively replaced Wayne.
he did, yeah.
Yeah. And who negotiated his hourly rates for labour and machinery?
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Ian says that you did, and you approved them.
Actually,
Would that be
no.
right?
Actually, no. I think, I think Ian was on that who might have negotiated his rates, and I think there's an email to prove that. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we make a list of documents that you might be able to assist us with? Would you be able to?
I can't assist you with anything until the trial.
Okay.
I'd rather just bring it all out in the trial. Quite happy to do it.
Okay. Ian said that Danny made it clear that he was the builder, that's the builder with the licensed building practitioner certificate, and that he would sign off all the building jobs. Is he right in saying that?
That was up until I hired the operations manager and the LPB project manager. Yeah.
That person
And that's
being,
297, 311 and the Anita Way properties.
that person being Lee.
Lee Corner, yeah.
Right.
And Dean Skipper was the operations manager.
Okay.
Yeah. But Ian Manel was working when Lee Corner was working on site when Ian Manel was there as well. And Lee Corner actually built, I think it was 299 Lakes Boulevard. And then they went on to Hilton's Place 299 when Bella Vista went into liquidation. Lee Corner and Dean Skipper went on and took over the contract for Hilton's. LPB builder. And funny you should say, I got an email as well to that effect. Lee actually emailing council under Lagoima, got that, you know? And Lee says that 101 Homes has taken over and he's the LPB builder for 101 Homes and finishing that house. And he's also signed off other projects as well for 101 Homes.
Then he said that you pegged out all the sites.
Absolutely incorrect. I've got stuff from the surveyors, you know, saying that they've gone in and pegged them all out and they've put offsets. And that's what actually happened on 301 is Ian got H&G in to peg the site out and they had a 500 offset off the pegs, right? And what actually happened is the foundation guy came in, right? Rob Gibson, who hasn't been charged, right? But he actually put the foundations in for that house, right? What he actually did was he didn't actually calculate for the 600 overhang at the top of the house. So he actually put the garage 500 off the pegs, right? And then when the actual house was built, what happens is the house is 600 closer to the boundary. So then it's like, oh no, what are we going to do? And luckily, the owner of both houses was the same person or the same family.
Brother and sisters, are they?
I think it was father and daughter, right? So when I was alerted to that and I noticed it was too close, I went in and the job was stopped. The builder Andrew McCain, he was on 301 and Lee Corner was on 299. So I went in there and I did all the amended plans, I got it in stamped, we sorted it all out, we got the daylighting signed by the Tripties, and then the house could carry on once it was all stamped and the amendments were done. So any time that I was ever alerted to anything wrong on site, right, I went in and sorted it out and fixed it.
Okay. Do you recall having some heated discussions with Danny on the topic of retaining walls over 1.5 metres?
I'm Danny.
Yeah.
Am I
Well,
going
then,
to
sorry.
topics with myself?
Well,
I do now.
Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel DeMartin, you're talking about?
No, sorry. I'll repeat the question.
Okay.
Danny, do you remember having some heated discussions on site with Ian Manel about the topic of retaining walls?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I only ever talked to Craig Carter, the general manager in office, about retaining walls. And that I told Craig Carter that he needed to go to the clients and sort out what they wanted to do with the retaining walls at the back of their homes, whether they want them built by us or somebody else. And that's what I asked Craig Carter.
At whose cost?
At the homeowner's cost. Because in the contracts, the homeowners had to do the retaining walls, not Bella Vista Homes. It was not part of our contract.
Okay. Did you tell them that when they signed up the contracts?
I never signed the contracts up with them. It
Who
was
did?
it was Grant Boyles or the real estate agent Brent from Brent Baston.
Okay.
Yeah. So I never did that. All I did was they brought the contracts for me. I read over it and I signed the contract after the owners had signed it, and then that was it.
Okay. I asked you this question because I've approached Mr. Carter, but he's declined to speak to me, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is right. What was the result of those discussions that Mr. Carter, your general manager, had with the homeowners
I
about
don't know.
what they
This is the
wanted to
thing.
do?
I had
What they
no
wanted to
idea.
do about those walls?
Well, it was up to Craig Carter to sort it out. I don't know.
Did Craig not get back to you?
No, he didn't. No, never got back to me. Because I told him many times go and sort out the retaining walls with the clients, because I'm not paying for it, because it's not in our contract. That's the thing, like when you sell a hillside to a hillside of sections and to people when it's not cut out, nothing's done, how do you know what retaining walls are going to go in when the plans aren't even drawn? How do you know? So you exclude that from the contract, and it's additional considerations to the contract. If they want it done, then that's not a problem. And they sign just above additional considerations, which is air conditioning, garage carpet, retaining walls, and other things in there. And some of them chose their air conditioning units. Some of them chose other things, heated towel rails.
Look, it might help if you clarified anyhow the ownership of the land came about, and then what Bella Vista's role was in terms of building, how that came about, just to clarify. I think.
So what actually happened was the sections, the owners bought the sections first under a sale and purchase agreement, right? And then they engaged Bella Vista Homes to build the house on the land, right? So as soon as that was done, then the owners, we organised an architect or a designer for them, Dylan Battenberg, right? I think it's his name, Battenberg or something. But we organised Dylan Battenberg. He drew the plans on behalf of the owners, so he was the agent for the owners. The consent was put in on behalf of the owners by the designer. Once the consent was issued, the plans were given to Bella Vista Homes to start building the homes.
Okay, so are you saying that you did not go to Garris and purchase Caris and purchase all this land, this parcel of land for the subdivision?
We did. We purchased the sections.
Yes.
From Caris.
Yep.
Bella Vista purchased sections, and then the sections were sold to the front people, but in their contract they had to sign the sections back to Bella Vista. So it was just section sales.
So effectively each one of these sections, these individual sections, were subdivided in half.
Yep.
And then the back half was on-sold to another owner. Is that correct?
Another owner by Bella Vista Homes, yes.
Right. Okay, thank you. If I put a proposition to you that all of this land here should not have been excavated in one go, it should have been done one or two sections at a time, what would you have to say about that?
It was excavated one or two sections at a time. It was excavated just before the consents came out. And it was arranged by either Ian Manell or whoever else was arranging it on site. Dean Skipper or Lee Corner.
Okay. My understanding is that they're all scraped pretty much at the same time.
Yeah,
over a number of days or weeks.
We took the topsoil off.
Can you just
No, we
ask
took
the question?
We took the topsoil off the sites
Yeah.
because we found when we did testing, the topsoil was 1.2 metres high, and Caris actually paid for the topsoil to be taken off the sites. Okay, so no, it was taking all that excess topsoil off the sites that Tauranga City Council should not have allowed to go on those sites and given titles for them.
So they weren't done one or two at a time, were they?
All the topsoil was scraped off the site, so we knew where we were, at what levels we were.
At one time?
Yeah, absolutely at one time.
And didn't that cause rutting with ground overflow of stormwater and rainwater during rain events?
It did, yeah. It did.
Because it's mostly sandy pumice soil?
It was pumice, and some of this is all clay up here, but Wayne Buchanan, one of the discussions I had with him, right, was to make sure we had bunds all at the bottom so it would catch any water on every site. One site, two sites, one site, two sites, and he never followed my instructions. I don't know why, maybe Ian told him to do something else.
So you told him what should happen?
Yeah, of course, because I first talked to Wayne and I said, hey, Caris is going to pay to get all this topsoil taken off, so we need it done, so we can actually see where the levels are.
Okay, and whose decision was that Caris would come and take the topsoil off, that 1.2 metres?
That was Simon Maxwell and Scott Adams.
Yeah, from Curtis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was their decision, even though you owned the land?
We didn't actually own the land, I don't think, at that time.
Oh, so that was before you purchased the...
I can't remember what time it was, but may have not, I don't know where
Like,
it settled, didn't settle.
When you started to scrape, or where Wayne started to scrape, is that when you found that, hey, there's 1.2 metres of topsoil?
I think, I can't remember how we found out.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure. But I think these houses in East Away were being built, and I think they went past the boundary here, and I think some of this was like 1.2 metres deep in topsoil. So then it was decided that Caris would pay for the topsoil to be removed.
So who negotiated that with it? With
I did.
Curtis? Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Well, topsoil shouldn't have been there. I think the IDC standards are 200 to 300 mils of topsoil over every lot.
Mm.
So we're talking nearly 900 mils of topsoil that was over and above the IDC rules
Mm.
from council.
So, and just from Wayne Buchanan, so was he there for all of that, he did all that excavation?
I think he did, but
Because did he not start up in the
he started up in Need Away with his little digger.
Yeah,
And I said to him, well, that's just not going to cut it. It's going to take too long. I think that was why maybe, because you're jogging my memory a little bit,
yeah,
maybe that was when I discussed with him and said, hey, listen, your invoice is too high because you've got a little digger. If you go and hire a 20-ton digger, which he ended up doing, the job will get done faster and it'll be cheaper.
yeah. How many people did he employ?
Wayne,
Yeah,
I'm not sure, just himself. I
oh,
think.
just himself?
I think it was just himself there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did, and it started and did it either way, because that was kind of took a heights.
With his little digger, yeah.
Yeah, little digger,
Yeah.
yeah. That would have taken how long?
Oh, it was a long time.
Yeah,
It took ages to do it.
yeah,
And I just said to him, we need to get this topsoil removed because Caris is paying for it,
yeah,
and we need to know what we've got there.
right. So,
So I think after the topsoil was removed, I think we got the hay baler in, and they hay baled everything. They spread the hay over all the sites.
yeah. But I'm just thinking here time-wise, because Wayne was only on the site for what, 5-6 weeks of a little digger.
No, after those.
Yeah, but I mean, a little digger up there would have taken a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm not sure when I got him to get the big
Yeah,
digger. I'm not quite
But
sure.
like, yeah, obviously, when it was, terminated or whatever, so did he leave or did you tell him to leave?
I told him to leave because of the damage on the driveways.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So, going back to the next person to come on,
Yeah, Corey from HSC. Yeah.
when did he, so he would come on virtually straight afterwards?
I'm not sure. I didn't even organise him.
How did,
Well, it would have been Dean Skipper or someone like that organised him. I don't know.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't organise Corey to come on site.
So
I think there was another guy as well. There was another guy that came on and did little bits and pieces, which I never organised either. That was
Yeah.
organised by Dean Skipper and Lee Corner.
Yeah. So, Corey was on there for quite a while, was he, or what?
Oh yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And did he have, just, how many diggers did he have?
I don't know, quite a few. I think he's got a few diggers. I'm not sure.
Right,
And he got trucks in and stuff like that. So
okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think
Well,
about
the problem is with Corey and that Dean Skipper, Ian now organised with the guy from Off the Hook,
Wayne Buchanan.
Wayne. He organised him a lot of the time, and then Dean Skipper organised Corey. So I'm not quite sure who got Corey in, because I didn't actually get any contractors in to do any of the work on the sites.
Well, that's not what Corey says. Have you read his statement?
Oh yeah, I briefly read the statement. Yeah.
He quite clearly says that you were the man that he dealt with
Yeah.
when he started. Do you remember briefing him on his first day?
No, I can't remember that. No.
Okay.
I can't remember briefing him on his first day, because I didn't brief him on his first day.
So are you saying that Corey must be either mistaken or lying about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's mistaken or lying, because Corey and I actually don't get on. So Yeah.
Okay. And
When you go
when
by
you
on
say-
site, that just stretches the jobs out.
Who was stretching the jobs out?
Corey, as well as all those guys on site, you know. Yeah. So, you know, I didn't really get on with Corey that well.
Was that from the get-go, or did that
Oh.
develop later on during his tenure on the sites?
It was okay to begin with. I didn't really have much, I didn't talk to him very often at all. Because he was never really on site, it was his boys on site.
Well, he was on site quite a bit.
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to ask Dean Skipper, Lee Corner, or whoever.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't on site very often.
Okay. Because what Corey says is that reasonably often you came along and wanted to change the levels on certain sites.
Not
Can you remember doing that?
I don't remember talking to him about it, but I remember talking to my team, Craig Carter or Ian Manel or whoever, about levels,
Yeah.
because the levels were done on the resource consent, so they were set, right? And to change the levels, we'd have to go right back through the resource consent again, right? But I was discussing with everybody that if we were able to change levels on the sites, it would make the driveways less for backing out, and they would all comply. But very, very hard to get through Tauranga City Council, anything that's reasonable and it's going to make it work easier. They were difficult all the time.
Okay.
And it was frustrating, I'm telling you. I was frustrated.
So you're talking about, just touching on the heights then,
Yeah,
in either way,
yeah,
the heights were changed there?
absolutely. Yeah. What actually happened on 5 Anita Way, I came back off on holiday and I got to the site, and Ian Manel had got him to dig the garage basement down to a certain level, and I came in there and I said, hey, stop. I said, if you dig it down to the level that's on the consented plans, right, the driveway down to the garage is going to be 45 degrees. So you need to stop here and we need to sort this out with an engineer and then we need to get an amendment done. And that's when the amendment was done for 5 Anita Way, 6 Anita Way and 4 Anita Way. Because on the consented plans that Dylan Battenberg drew, the retaining wall at the back of the site was 1.5 metres, right? And when I went on site, he had already gone down 1.5 metres and it hadn't reached the actual level that was on the consented plans. So I said to them, we need to change the consented plans, raise this up 600, get an amendment done, and then get it sorted out, or else the retaining wall at the back of the site will end up over 2 metres high. So what I was, is as soon as, like I would try and organise the next subdivisions and carry on the business, and also if there was an issue, I would go in and try and resolve that issue. And that was really what I did. So I went in there and I resolved the issue of 4 Anita Way, 6 Anita Way, and number 5 Anita Way. And I also resolved number 3 Anita Way Podges, where placemakers actually put the house in the wrong place. Right? They measured off the pegs wrong, and the house was too close to the boundary of 311A. So I had to go in there and I had to sort that out. We had to get an amendment done, we had to get neighbours sign off. I had to pay the clients $10,000 cash for the inconvenience, and placemakers just told me to stick it up my ass. They're not gonna sort anything out.
Is that when you went to Carter's?
No, not when we went to Carter's. No, we sorted that out, that issue, because hey, that's what building's all about, is sorting out any issues that arise. So what actually happened on 3 Metre Way, which you'll appreciate, is we had a boundary peg here, one there and one here, right? This boundary peg here had been moved for some reason, don't know why, but it had been moved 500 closer to 311A, right, over here. So it had been moved closer to 311A by 500 mils. And I picked up there was something wrong, right? Because Colmac, who did the foundations, came in, and instead of, when you measure, you go from that peg to that peg and you put a string line through, right? And you take the measurements off the house from every string line, every part of the string line. They took a measurement from the front peg to the string line and the back one, right? But they never took a measurement off the corner, right? So what actually happened is, if they'd actually taken that measurement, they would have found that that measurement was not according to the consent plans. right? That's what I picked up. I've got all that evidence, tucked away. But that measurement there, if they'd done that, we would have sorted it out, moved the house back to the original position, and it would have been fine. So because the house was put in the wrong place by Colmac, right? I went in and sorted it out. So every time there was a problem, I went in and sorted it out. When I was made aware of a problem, I went in and sorted it out.
Is that's 299 311, is that what you're referring to?
No, I'm referring to the three needs away. Okay.
Down.
So 3 need away, there was a problem there. The plans were drawn and the platform was too low. And if I had actually built it to the consent plans, we would have had a 45-degree driveway, right, which wouldn't have complied, right? So again, as a LPB builder, I found a problem, sorted it out, got the amendments done, and organised it to be sorted and fixed, right? So every time when there was a problem, I went and sorted it out. So when anyone made me aware of something, I would go in and sort it out.
Okay. You said before that you supervised work at 311 and 297.
Yes.
I want to ask you some questions about 5 Anita Place.
5 Anita Way.
5 Anita Way.
Yeah.
You got the folder for that one?
You agree you signed off on that one there, Danny?
Yeah, but the record of works wasn't quite correct.
This here wasn't?
There was a bit of a mistake on the record of works, which I tried to amend with council, but they wouldn't let me amend it.
In what way was it wrong?
It wasn't a rib rough slab, it was a conventional slab.
Yeah.
There was a couple of other little things.
Yeah.
Let's look at that.
That's the memorandum there you signed off on?
What we're showing you for the record is memorandum of the licensed building practitioner record of work.
Do you understand what they are, Danny? That what it means?
Carry on, what are you showing?
Is that your signature?
Yes, it is.
And that's dated the 26th of the 4th, 17.
Yeah.
Is that your handwriting there for the date?
No.
It's not, okay, but that's your signature.
Yeah.
And it's obviously your name
Yeah.
above your signature.
Yeah.
So you agree that you signed off that record of works?
Of course I did.
Okay.
I'm not denying it, never have.
So what other building sites have you signed off building work for, other than 311 and 297?
All the previous ones to this subdivision. And a couple
No,
of...
we're only talking about matters on the subdivision.
Oh, okay, I signed off on 297 and 311. There were other record of works put in that I didn't put in. They're actually fraudulent. So if you want to go down that path, there's no problem at all, because I've got a lot of evidence to prove that they are fraudulent.
So somebody else is signing your name?
Yep, no, didn't sign my name.
Why do you say they were fraudulent?
Well, you'll find out in court. If you want to go down that path, you'll find out in court. That's not a problem.
Okay, well if that's the way you want to play it, but now's your opportunity to tell us about fraudulent documents to do with your properties. Please tell us.
Shall I tell them?
Yeah.
No, right. So 299 and 311, right, were supervised by Lee Corner. Those record of works were asked to be put in by Lee Corner, and Cheryl Parker is the one that actually lodged those record of works. And what they actually did is, if you look at all of those four, there's 299, 311. I think there's 307, Tony Mann's, and there's another one as well. I can't remember which ones, right? But if you look at the signature is exactly the same on every single document. Two of the dates are the same, and some of the dates have been changed, right? So all they've done is they've taken my record of works, one that I previously signed, which was on 297, right? They've taken that record of works and they've used that back page, and they've put the other stuff to it. They've changed the name of the owner and the address. And I'm really pissed
So
about
which
it.
ones are those, Danny?
I can't remember. It's 299, 301. There's I think 307 Tony Mann's, which wasn't even finished. Like, he hadn't even had the drains done when we went into liquidation. So why would I sign a record of works saying that I finished their building in that house when there was no decks on the back, there was, I think there was no kitchen in the house, you know? Why would I sign a record of works? You know? And then I've got a contract from Lakes Homes, which is Paul Marsh, to George Trechty. I've got 2 contracts saying that he would finish those 2 properties, 299 and 301, and he would organise a record of works for those sites.
I've got, oh, you take them through this.
Yeah, okay. So what I've got is the other ones of memorandums, right?
Yep.
So
299 I'm pointing to it here.
that's that one you just talked about.
Yep. Yep, okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay.
297. If you just want the last page
So
again.
can we just deal with one at a time?
No. What we'll do is, that's 299, which is that's George Trechty's, yeah. Yeah. That's 297, is it? Is that 297?
Yeah.
297, okay. So that there is the original one. And if you look at the signatures, exactly the same. Just dates have been changed. And why would I do it under, why would I do this and just change the dates? And the names on them have changed. Where's the next one? Okay. Again, same signature. And where's that last? And look, dates are the same. Look. Okay. And then this one again. Oh, look, same signature again. Just dates changed and owner's details changed.
But you would expect the same signature when you're signing. I sign mostly. I've
What, in
signed.
exactly the same place, brother?
I've signed signatures for many years as well.
In exactly the same place, through the end, in exactly the same place with the same 2 dots and the same dot. Get real. Okay. Sign me 5 signatures in exactly the same place on the same document every single
This
time.
one is that this is Anita Way.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're saying that
I never.
297 is your signature,
Yep,
you said, which is this one here?
that's the original, yeah.
Yeah. But these other 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, are documents that you need to sign.
I never signed them, no.
Now look, I mean, the point that Danny's making, if you look at the top of that part there,
Mm-hmm.
it's exactly the same distance on every one, and what's the chance of that?
When did you first become aware of that?
When I was charged, because I went through everything.
Okay.
So that's when I became aware of all of this, and yeah, not very happy about it.
Did you tell anybody from council about that?
Why would I? The council's charging me. Why would I tell you? I'd rather just go to trial and embarrass council, tell you the truth.
Oh, okay. Alright, that's fine.
They're going to be embarrassed about all this, that's all. I'm going to win this trial.
Okay.
And that's all there is to it. Every single signature is the same. How do you say to that? When I've got other contracts of other people taking over contracts, and then my signature's there. Yeah, and I've got affidavits from other people saying that they were told by someone to put them in. You know. So the 2 Trechty ones were put in, I think, just before Xander left. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just before Xander left, those 2 were put in, and I've got a phone call and a recording when I talked to Xander, and I said to him, "Did I ask you to put those 2 in?" And he said, "No, you didn't." Okay. So it was either Lee Corner or Dean Skipper that asked to put those record of works in, because I think it's just absolute bullshit that I get charged for something that I didn't even do.
So you're saying you weren't involved in any of those houses?
No, it was the LPB on those houses was Lee Corner, and that's in his contract, and that's in the agreement.
Okay, well there's a dispute here. Because I've got Lee Corner's statement.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that, man. I've got so much that's
you've
wrong
read
in
that?
there. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've read that, and there's so much wrong in there that I can prove is wrong with
Okay.
documentation. Don't worry about that.
There's just one paragraph of 2.5 lines that I want to ask you about in the statement.
Yeah.
It's the top one on page 2. Can you remember attending part of his job interview when you employed him?
No.
Okay, he says that you were there.
Well,
for
Craig Carter and Cheryl
Yeah.
Parker were the ones that interviewed him for his job interview, not me.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but he
Craig
said
Carter was his uncle or something like that, or whatever.
you him somehow. Yeah.
I think it was his wife's something or other, his wife, I don't know. They're related anyway.
Okay. I'm going to read out this short paragraph and then I'll ask for comment from you. I told Danny and Craig that I have my LBP. Danny said words along the lines of, you won't need that because I sign off all the Bella Vista homes under my LBP.
Of course he would
He
say
said it is his company and his responsibility to do all the sign-offs. Can you comment on that, please?
that. Of course he would say that. But I've got documentation to say otherwise.
What
And-
documentation is that?
I've got his contract.
Okay,
You know, I've got a contract between Bella Vista Homes and Project Management.
okay.
Okay, that all record of works to be signed off by the employees of Project Management or BVH Management. Okay, so, and of course he's going to say that
Would you care to provide that document to us?
in court, or
But not now, not before?
why would I?
Well, if you want us to do an objective investigation into this matter and you
I
have
don't want you to do
information-
anything. I'm quite happy whether you get found guilty or not guilty. I don't really care, as long as the truth comes out about what Tauranga City Council did to me. I'm not worried. I don't own anything. I've got nothing.
So is it Tauranga City Council you got the beef with?
Well, they're the ones that delayed my company into liquidation. They're the ones that were negligent in inspections, apparently, and they should never have produced building consents. Right? Imagine Tauranga City Council producing building consents, right, stamped on the details with all the weatherboards upside down. How can you follow a building consent or consented plans when all the weatherboards are upside down on the consented plans?
Because you know, when initially we started the interview, you said that you had employed the wrong people.
No, you tell me, I asked you a question. How can you follow consented plans when all the weatherboards are stamped and consented upside down
About what?
on all of these houses, all 16 houses? So, you know, as an LPB on site, who was
So did you pick that up?
I picked it up in the process of all of this, yeah, you know.
Oh,
And-
not during the time.
Yeah, but we wouldn't put them upside down, would we? We'd put them the right way up.
And then you put it on social media, didn't you?
What, the weatherboards?
Hmm.
Oh, absolutely. The truth comes out, man. The truth must come out.
All right. So
That's what it's all about. It's all about the truth coming out and Tauranga City Council not bullying anybody again.
So if you wanted
And with a
to,
new councillor now, I hope that's going to happen.
if you wanted to surprise the prosecution, why did you put that on social media months ago?
What, the weatherboards?
Hmm.
Who's surprising you? I'm telling you now. And
You just said before
let's face it. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Tauranga City Council monitor the website and they know exactly what I'm putting up there. Okay? And you know that.
Okay. I thought you said before you wanted to embarrass council.
Oh, there's a lot of other stuff, you know,
Okay.
that I haven't put up there. A
Okay.
lot of stuff that I haven't put up.
Mhm.
I've got a statement here from Colin Jacobson. He was involved in observing destructive testing, and it's around structural steel stuff. What I'd like to do is to refresh your memory, because no doubt you've seen it at some stage, probably a while ago, because he signed this back in January. What I'd like to do is, so that you can refresh your memory, I have highlighted some paragraphs here for you to look at, and I'll ask you a few questions about those paragraphs that I've highlighted.
Just take your time, man.
Okay.
Do you remember seeing that document before?
His statement? Absolutely, yeah.
paragraph 7.2, when you look through the various paragraphs that I have highlighted here, there are 8 occasions in which he states that the wall as constructed is at significant risk of failure. Alright, do you accept that?
No,
Well, if
I'm
you,
not an
read,
engineer, so how could I?
if you read these highlighted paragraphs,
Yeah, but I'm not an engineer, so I wouldn't know.
you will find at least 8 occasions in which he said that.
Yeah, I'm not an engineer, so I wouldn't know. You'd have to ask an engineer.
Now, I'm asking you, do you accept
It's
the
what
proposition?
is whether that's what he said, not whether it's correct.
He's not correct.
Colin Jacobson?
Is that what you wanted to know? He's not correct, no.
Okay. Does that go for the whole of the statement or for the 8?
Actually, most of the statement, actually.
Most of the
Most of it,
statement?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And why is that?
Eh?
Can you tell me why that is, from your point
His
of view?
statement.
Yeah. Why is most of his statement incorrect?
There's a lot of factors that come into it, and they'll probably just come up in the court case.
Oh, will they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot it's huge. It's huge. So I'm not an engineer, so I can't say. I don't know why the foundation guy Rob Gibson put the foundations at the wrong level. I don't know why Ian Manel okayed this. I don't know why anybody did what they did, because I didn't know about it. Any of these walls being too high, until such time as the charges came out.
Were you not the developer for this subdivision?
No, Bella Vista Homes was.
Okay. And you were the managing director of that company,
No, I wasn't.
or the sole director?
I was the director, and then we had a general manager. Yeah.
Okay. So weren't you ultimately responsible for what went on this subdivision?
No. I can't be held responsible for an LPB that didn't do their job properly, because under the LPB scheme, an LPB is responsible for what he does on site.
So you say that all the witnesses that have signed statements that they know are going to be used as evidence in court, stating words to the effect that you made the ultimate decisions because you were the company director and the developer.
So I made the ultimate
and that
decisions
you-
on what?
Can you just hear me out,
I
please?
made the ultimate decisions on what before you go forward? On what?
On major decisions like changing heights and levels in the excavations, like getting a variation for some of the slabs, you can say, that were cited incorrectly, for anything that
When I was made aware of